we are going to review the last two questions that you just answered. Make sure that you're paying close attention so that you can learn something new if you made a mistake somewhere along the way. Or maybe you looked at some of the opposite options, like on our first question, and you didn't know what some were. We will review those things too. Okay, so the place where organisms lived is called is it a habitat, ecosystem, abiotic, or a community? Go ahead and remember what answer you put in. All right, let's go through understanding what each of these words mean. Let's start with ecosystem. What is the ecosystem? Yeah, the place where living and non-living things interact. Okay, so the place where living and non-living things interact. What's a habitat? Awesome. A habitat is the place within the community, within the ecosystem, where an organism lives, right? So the ecosystem is on a broader scale. It's a bigger umbrella and includes biotic and abiotic factors. But the habitat is in that ecosystem, the specific place where an organism lives. So that's the answer to our question here. But now let's understand, what is abiotic? Great, they're non-living factors that impact an ecosystem. So an example of an abiotic factor would be weather. We know that the weather in certain ecosystems changes. It's not the same all around the world. All right, and a community. Community really falls under ecosystem. It kind of is more of just a vocabulary word to describe that an ecosystem is like the community where non-living and living things interact. So that just more falls under the definition of ecosystem. And sorry, there is an organism, a fly, trying to bite me. So that's why I'm swatting over here. Okay, let's go ahead and check our second answer, or our second question. Where does energy flow for an ecosystem start? Great. Maybe you thought of consumers and producers when trying to think about the answer to this question. Now, we know that some consumers eat producers. What are examples of producers in our ecosystem? Great, plants. Plants are part of our ecosystem. Where do plants get their energy? Great, from the sun. So we know that means that the energy in an ecosystem starts with the sun, because that's where the plants, our producers, and other organisms get their energy. Without that sun, those producers would not be able to survive, and therefore the consumers also would not be able to survive.